if y equals sine to the fourth of x, then dy dx equals, okay, so this is just chain rule. Yes. So the idea of the chain rule is f of g of x equals f prime of g of x times g prime of x. And it's the idea of how you work with nested functions, one function inside the other. So generally, it's just you do a whole bunch of chain rules and eventually you kind of get the idea of how to do it. But to do it in a more formalized manner, you would say that, all right, f of x equals x to the fourth. Because the exterior equation we have here, so it's something like this. And so you say that, all right, if this is x to the fourth. So then f prime of x would be 4x cubed. G of x in this case would be sine of x. And the derivative of sine of x, which you just know, is g prime of x cosine of x. And so when you put all of this together, you get f of g of x equals x, which in this case, so f prime of g of x, so we do 4 g of x sine of x, make these brackets, cubed times g prime of x, which is cosine of x. Now I'm usually pretty much in favor of writing everything down and just getting as much stuff on paper as possible. And that's fine the first few times with the chain rule, but after you do the chain rule enough times, it's almost better to just go from this step to this step. So write it to there. And this is a straightforward enough problem that you can usually do that. Sometimes things get a little bit more complicated. It can be a little bit more formal, but when you have something that's as straightforward as this, the amount of time you can save is pretty valuable. And so the answer would be this guy right there. See a sine, see a cosine, see a 4, and 3. Check. And that is how you do the derivative of the trig function using the chain rule.